Do you ever see him doing sets, Colin Quinn?
Yeah, he's a
I
legend.
used to know him.
He's one of the best
Yeah.
ever.
Love him.
He's so funny. I used to be the receptionist at SNL.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
And then he got hired. You know, I was there 2 years. So the second year he came in, and the funniest thing that I was a young kid. I was like 21 years old, and I just remember everybody would come to reception and do their bits. You know, like Tracy Morgan would come in and like try stuff.
Wow.
And then Will Ferrell would try. So Will Ferrell would come in character and stuff.
What?
And Colin was the funniest.
Really?
Out of every single person in the cast. Like and the girl that worked with me, she'd be like, "Oh, Colin's the funniest." Like out of everybody, just like so.
People don't realize how great Colin is.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I mean, people do realize it, but like he is one of the best ever. I mean, he really is.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Great comedy mind, and he keeps up with comedy. He's one of the only guys who will never be out of touch.
Is he still out?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
his
every
new
night.
stuff
Yeah.
is great. He's killer.
This might be. I saw his new hour. I opened for him. I don't know, a month ago, and it was like, I was in awe. It was one of the best things I've seen him do. I think this new hour is going to be incredible.
I think he's the best at social commentary of any comedian.
Ooh, that's a good statement.
Because he's, you know what? Because he keeps it real. It's not like
Right.
he's not pandering to either side, but it's so he's so wise. He's just seen it all. Like he's
Yes.
a dude that kind of is like truly a moderate, which is kind of important for comedy right now.
Right.
When everyone is not listening, this dude's kind of like, I'll shit on everybody.
Yeah.
I love that about him. I don't like stand-up that gets too self-indulgent. Self-indulgent, self-righteous. I try to remove myself from it until it's as funny as it can be. You know?
Yes.
Why putting yourself in it makes it less funny?
I don't think it's that it's myself in it that makes it less funny, but when you're
Well, you don't want to. You want to still be relatable. So if I go, "What's the deal with fireplaces?"
Yeah.
People go, "I have a fireplace." But if I go, "My fireplace," I feel like I'm losing them. But that's just my own insecurity.
I got you.
I mean, yeah, who knows? I just
that makes sense.
yeah, I just think like when you
Thank you.
have a point or something. The one-man show thing, I've seen it done well, but it makes me nervous because I've also seen it done horribly.
Oh yeah.
And it's a niche thing that it doesn't really interest me, to be honest.
Did it well.
Well, Colin is
Colin,
a prime example of someone who did it really well. But a lot of them I just...
It's a little indulgent.
Yeah.
Also, Collins, we should say, is not always. It's not about him. It's about the government. It's about society.
Right.
It's
There's
about,
a theme.
Yeah, New
so
York.
I don't even really think of it as that one-man showy, but I think once you kind of go for too long without a laugh and you're trying to make a point, it's like, that's not why I got into this. There's something very arrogant about that to me, where like I don't want to get it twisted. Like I got into this, I honed my shit at a Mexican restaurant, you know, telling jokes. Like, who the fuck do I think I am, honestly, to say this shit on stage without making it funny?
Right.
Who is that great quote? I'm gonna butcher this. Maybe you can give it a goog if you got a laptop over there. But it's something like comedy that tries to be important sucks, but comedy that's funny is important. Or
that's
something
good.
like that. I've
nailed
screwed
it.
it up, but it's something like that.
That's
pretty
interesting.
good.
Yeah, I mean, Colin has another thing. I mean, we're talking about Colin so much here, but he really is like one of the godfathers of New York comedy. And I remember he said, "The cool guy. Like, we're not the cool guy. The cool guy that's not comics.
No.
Comedy's not the cool guy. We're not supposed to win," is what he'd always say.
Right.
That's not funny. Winning.
That is that generation. But now you see it, guys younger than you.
Very hip.
Yeah.
Swag.
Right?
But can you be hip when you're 41? I would say like a Bill Burr to me is a cool guy, but he's hip, but
Well,
he's
cool
not
'cause
trying to be hip.
He's cool because he's Bill Burr and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's not like a
But that's the goal.
life of the party. He's not He's not Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Pete Davidson is
He's like a cool guy.
a cool dude. Yeah,
And I think
but-
Pete Davidson's really funny.
But is he the life of the party? I don't know if life of the party means funny.
Yeah, Pete is also very open about being like, you know, mentally ill and
Socially awkward. and-
yeah.
Right.
So I don't. I think
Right,
if
good
anything,
point.
Pete is pretty self-deprecating.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an everyman.
So-
who made it somehow.
Right.
That's why you root for him.
I just think like, there's a lot of swaggy comics out there, and Mark and I always talk about this, but if like you spend more time on your outfit than your jokes, I mean, look, for a special, look good. That's going to get shared, but like if it's every night, you're color coordinating, looking cool as shit. At a certain point, like Mark and I look like shit right now. I look like I got monkeypox at Coachella. I mean,
I felt so good when you showed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was like, oh man, he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
But
I was so glad. I was like, oh good, this is gonna be super chill.
It's nice to look good, but also like,
no, I like that.
A lot of those times you see those guys and they put no work into their stand-up, and you're like, you're focusing on the wrong half here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What before I forget, I love Judd Apatow. What was that like when you had him on?
Oh, cool.
What
He's a comedy encyclopedia.
Yeah, what did you get out of that?
You can just listen. He's got stories. He used to be a fucking busboy at a comedy club.
Yeah,
you know, when
he
was
really did
in
it.
high school or whatever.
I think his mom was.
His mom worked there. She was the hostess.
Oh, wow.
And he was the busboy, and he saw everybody on Long Island in the 80s.
And he loves comedy. I mean, Judd is also like been on so many shows. Like he learned from so many people, like Shanlane, and he's got this appreciation for comedy that Mark and I share. And he's also just a warm guy. I remember I was going through a breakup once at the Cellar, and he just told me this long story. It was like an hour story about all the breakups he's had, and they were all hilarious. You're like, that's the type of dude he is. It was like many years ago. He's just like a warm dude.
I just think his films are like they're so well put together.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
What's that?
What's your favorite?
Fucking, the one with Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. What is
Knocked
it?
Up.
Knocked Up is my favorite. It's probably my top 5.
Yeah, that was
Annie
good.
Hall, Knocked Up, Goodfellas.
Wow, jeez.
Wow. Fucking Leota, dude.
I know. I met him
Bummer.
once.
Did you?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
I don't like telling the story because it's embarrassing, but I was writing something, and I was trying to sell it, and they were like, "You got to get Ray Liotta to play your dad," and then I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, like whatever." Obviously, they're like, "Well, who would you want?" And I'm like, Ray Liotta, and while it was like trying to be sold, I saw him at a party, and I was with my ex-wife, and we were at the guy who owned, Ralph's, the supermarket.
Yeah.
We were at that guy's mansion for some like
Whoa.
Democratic fundraiser or whatever. And then I don't know what I was thinking. I would never do this now. But my ex-wife was like, go talk to him. Go talk to him. Ask him. And I was like, And I was broke. And I was just like, this is fucking nuts. Or maybe this would work or whatever. And I went up and I talked to him. And I told him about it. And he was so gracious.
Wow.
He was like, yeah. He's like, sounds good. Sounds like a fun idea. He's like, get it to my agent. And he was like, he was like, and then he's like, yeah. And then he was like, hang out with me, stick by me, talk to me for a while, like that. And I just sat and talked to him. Life of the party.
I love
everybody.
that.
What's that? Sorry.
I love the idea that the supermarket chain owner has these hip parties.
Yeah, is his name like?
I don't think Sam Walton was hanging out with Paris Hilton.
It wasn't hip. It was just like
I remember seeing a lot of porn stars at Trader Joe's mansion. It was
Right.
pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.